Welcome back to the shop, maintenance pros. You're listening to Nuts and Bolts, the construction maintenance podcast. I'm your host, Mike Grayson.
And I'm Sam Chen, where we keep your equipment running and your headaches at bay.
Before we dive in, just a quick disclaimer. Sam and I are fictional characters created for this podcast. Though if you ask my wife, she'd say I've been a character my whole life.
That's probably the most honest thing you've said on this show, Mike.
Hey now, I've been honest about my feelings toward digital maintenance logs.
Yes, we all remember your colorful rant about fancy clipboards in episode 12.
And I stand by every word. But enough about that. It's July 2025, folks. And if you're feeling the pressure from all sides, you're not alone.
That's right. Today, we're breaking down 10 critical trends that are reshaping maintenance operations right now. Even if you're not buying new equipment this month, these trends could blindside your operations if you're not prepared.
Let's kick things off with what's happening in the supply chain. Now, we've been hearing for months that supply chains are normalizing, whatever that means. But the reality on the ground tells a different story.
The data backs that up, Mike. While ports are moving again and lead times are better than the chaos we saw in 2022 and 2023, OEMs are still rationing high-wear items. According to Equipment World, even non-critical parts now have lead times of 6 to 8 weeks.
I was just with a client last week whose million-dollar excavator sat idle for 3 weeks, waiting on a hydraulic seal that cost less than $50. 3 weeks. That's the kind of nightmare that keeps maintenance managers up at night.
What are you telling your clients to do about this?
Pre-order essential parts sooner than ever. Build a critical parts inventory for the components that break down most often. And honestly, plan for higher parts budgets and maybe even more storage space. Because nobody wants expensive equipment gathering dust for want of a cheap part.
And speaking of expensive resources, let's talk about the skilled tech shortage that's driving up wages and creating a poaching problem across the industry.
Oh boy, don't get me started. According to AGC, the average hourly wage for construction workers hit $37.20 in June, up nearly 8% from last year. But for mechanics and technicians, we're seeing increases of 7 to 9% in 2025 alone.
Those OEM dealerships aren't helping either. They're offering higher salaries, better benefits, and paid training on new equipment. It's making it really difficult for mid-size contractors to compete.
Tech schools just can't produce new talent fast enough to replace the old-timers who are retiring. And let me tell you, when a veteran tech with 30 years of experience walks out the door, they take a library of knowledge with them that no manual can replace.
So what's your advice for maintenance managers facing this labor crunch?
You're probably going to need to increase wages or offer retention bonuses to keep your good techs from jumping ship. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but tools like mobile CMMS can help fewer technicians stay productive by cutting down on paperwork and wasted time.
Did you just recommend a digital solution, Mike? Should I check if hell has frozen over?
Even an old dog like me can learn new tricks when the alternative is watching night shifts and remote sites go uncovered. Empty shifts mean idle equipment, and that hits your bottom line hard.
Speaking of new technology, electric equipment is making a serious push into construction. OEMs are rolling out more electric models of loaders, aerial lifts, and excavators to meet emissions targets.
Yeah, but here's the problem. There's a massive learning curve for maintenance. How many techs do you know who are trained to diagnose high-voltage systems? I can count mine on one hand, and I wouldn't even need all my fingers.
The Q2 data shows higher downtime for electric excavators due to unfamiliar troubleshooting and long waits for specialized parts. Industry reports indicate electric models could make up 25 to 30% of specific fleet types by 2027.
If you're a maintenance manager, You need to be sending your key technicians to OEM-specific EV training now. Don't wait until these machines are breaking down on your job sites with nobody qualified to fix them.
And budget for those new diagnostic tools. They're not cheap.
Electric vehicles might be here for the long haul, but fixing them shouldn't take that long. Plan accordingly, folks.
Now, let's shift gears and talk about the increasing documentation pressures maintenance managers are facing. Insurance providers are raising the bar when it comes to reporting mandates.
A dusty file cabinet full of maintenance logs just doesn't cut it anymore. Major insurers like Travelers and Liberty Mutual now require detailed preventive maintenance logs, proof that techs are properly trained and certified, and detailed reports on equipment condition.
CBiz has predicted a 1 to 9% increase in CGL premiums throughout 2025 as insurers tighten their underwriting standards. What does this mean for maintenance managers?
It means you can't rely on handwritten logs or scattered spreadsheets anymore. You need digital maintenance records that are clean, complete, and easily shareable for audits or insurance reviews. One missing record could cost your company tens of thousands in premium hikes.
And it's not just insurance companies watching. OSHA announced plans for a significant increase in random, unannounced inspections, focusing on high-heat states and large projects valued over $5 million.
Those fines for record-keeping failures jumped from $15,625 per violation to $16,131 per violation. That's a big hit for something as simple as a missing file or an outdated inspection log.
According to OSHA data, the construction industry has seen a 12% increase in surprise inspections so far in 2025 compared to the same period last year.
Nobody wants to pay around 19 grand just because a form was missing or misfiled. Your team needs to be trained on how to quickly retrieve documents when inspectors show up unannounced.
Let's talk about technology trends. Predictive analytics is a hot topic, but the ROI is still uncertain for many contractors.
This is one of those things that sounds great in theory. Sensors monitoring vibrations, temperature, oil viscosity, all to spot trouble before equipment breaks down. But here's the thing. It's expensive to implement, and the data overload happens fast.
For larger operations with vast fleets, the investment makes sense. But for mid-sized contractors, the return on investment isn't as clear-cut. What's your take, Mike?
I tell my clients to start small. Pilot these predictive tools on your most critical, high-value assets first. Test the waters and prove the value before you go all in. And for heaven's sake, look for solutions that give you clear, actionable recommendations, not just fancy dashboards filled with data that nobody understands.
Predictive maintenance can help you save millions or drain your budget if it's not implemented practically. Speaking of digital tools, contractor collaboration platforms are becoming the standard, including maintenance data sharing.
Gone are the days when project closeouts meant handing over binders full of equipment manuals and scattered service logs. Now, big general contractors and project owners want complete digital records as part of project turnover.
It's estimated that more than half of contractors expect digital asset data to be a standard part of project handovers by the end of 2025. This is a significant shift in how construction projects are completed.
If you're still using paper logs and scattered spreadsheets, you're gonna look outdated and potentially lose work to competitors who can provide digital records. It's not just about convenience anymore. It's about staying competitive.
Let's touch on a supply issue that's emerging again, diesel exhaust fluid, or DEF. After remaining stable for a couple of years, the market is showing fresh signs of instability.
Nitrogen-based fertilizers, particularly urea, saw the steepest rise, up 20% year-on-year to an average of $390 per ton. Since DEF relies on urea as a core ingredient, this is hitting the construction industry hard.
According to Reuters, DEF prices could climb another 10 to 15% by year end. What should maintenance managers do to prepare?
Lock in your DEF supply contracts as soon as possible. Add a buffer to your DEF budget for the rest of 2025. And remember, no DEF means Tier 4 machines stay idle, potentially disrupting work entirely and risking project delays or penalties.
Our final trend is about emissions tracking pressure, which is growing even for mid-sized contractors. States like New York, California, and Illinois are leading the charge with new regulations demanding CO2 footprint reporting for construction operations.
It's not just regulators paying attention either. Private project owners are beginning to demand sustainability data in RFPs and closeout documents, and they're using it as a deciding factor in awarding contracts.
McKinsey reports that $9.2 trillion must be spent each year on capital assets to meet global net zero goals by 2025. Contractors that fail to produce accurate emissions data could lose out on high-profile projects.
So what does all this mean for maintenance managers? Even if you're not planning to purchase new equipment this month, these trends are reshaping nearly every part of your world.
They'll impact how you forecast budgets, schedule crews, prepare for audits, manage supplier relationships, and stay compliant with increasingly stringent regulations.
In 2025, maintenance management isn't just about fixing machines anymore. You're also managing data, people, regulatory risks, and financial surprises.
Knowledge is your most effective tool to navigate these challenges. Staying ahead of these trends isn't just about avoiding trouble. It's about turning your maintenance operation into a strategic advantage.
So what can you do right now? Audit your tech stack and digital records. Train your team for EVs and digital compliance. Monitor your parts and DEF supply chains to avoid shortages. And tighten up your documentation processes.
We'd love to hear how these trends are affecting your operations. Drop us a line through our website or join the conversation in our online community forum.
Next episode, we'll be diving into preventive maintenance strategies for extreme heat conditions. With temperatures breaking records across the country, your equipment is feeling the strain too.
And don't forget about our listener Q&A segment. Send us your toughest maintenance questions and we'll tackle them on air.
Remember, in maintenance, an ounce of prevention is worth a ton of downtime.
Keep those machines humming and those records digital. This has been Nuts and Bolts, the Construction Maintenance Podcast. I'm Sam Chen.
And I'm Mike Grayson. We'll see you in the shop next time.